Hi everyone, how you doing? Just getting myself sorted. So, fingers crossed, we've got lots of signal. How you doing? You are literally the first person watching. I've just gone live. So, drop us a comment, let us know where you're watching from. Or maybe it's Ali. So, welcome. Hi everyone. It's Thursday night, 7 p.m, which means it's time for our weekly live stream Jam Station guitar lesson. My name is Arron and I'm here every Thursday. We've been focusing on the modes. So whether or not you've been joining every week or if this is your first time, I'm sure you'll learn something tonight. We'll finish with some ear training as well. Okay, so it should be fun. This evening, we're going to combine the parallel modes that we've been working on in recent weeks and combine them with the 5-note arpeggios from the last couple of lessons. Okay, so last week we went up the arpeggio. Let's just get some volume. We went up our 5-note arpeggio, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and then we came back down the mode, that one being Lydian. Okay, tonight we're going to flip that. So we had this as a loop, which we applied to every single mode of the major scale. Tonight we're going to be going up the mode first of all, so the scalic part of the exercise, and then down the mode. So you kind of race down, if you like. I'm going to play the full exercise in a second, just so you can see what you're getting yourself into. Quick little word on the modes though. So modes can be a really exciting thing for any guitarist or musician to move into. Okay, they give us fresh, interesting sounds that can really spice up a blues, for example, or some rock, give our playing a touch of sophistication that you perhaps can't get from a blues scale alone. They're also a great gateway into jazz and fusion and certain styles of instrumental music. So Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, for example, two legendary guitarists, and their sound is synonymous with Lydian, for example. Okay, but modes can be intimidating as well. So this series of lessons should help you demystify the modes and help you distinguish between them by understanding which intervals change as we move from mode to mode and which intervals give us the distinctive flavor that each mode has. Tab for this whole exercise is on Patreon for free. The link is in the description, so you can get that now. Click and download that. And let's get started. This is the full exercise. As promised, I'll be playing these modes in E. They're parallel modes. What that means is that all the modes are played from the same root note. So typically we would have, if we had E major, we would have F sharp Dorian. Okay, we'd have a different mode from each note within the scale. But with parallel modes, we play them all from the same root note. So this would be, that was E major. That was Lydian. If I was to play Lydian, I would play it from the same root note. So that would then be E, Lydian. Let's do a minor mode, we'd have E, Dorian. Okay, they're all from the same root note. They're all in different keys. Right, here is the exercise we'll be playing tonight. 2, 3, 4 Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, Aeolian, fumbled that one. I'm going to show you those last three again. The last three were Aeolian. Started a semiquaver early. Then I did Phrygian, flattened the 2. And then Locrian. Okay. Right, let's just do that once more all the way through for the lesson, if nothing else. Here we go. I just need to shut my mouth, basically. Right, so our lesson objectives. Looks like there's no one watching anyway. So number 1, technical development. We're going to improve left and right hand coordination, of course. Okay, this is fantastic for your fretting hand though, in particular, because with each new mode, you're learning new fingerings. Okay, so you're not just playing the same thing up and down like you might with pentatonic scale. Different finger, you're going to use all 4 fingers equally, basically. So technique. Number 2, some fresh sounds. Okay, we can practice scales, we can practice arpeggios. Tonight, we're combining the 2 rudiments into the same phrase naturally. This brings a fluidity and a sort of modern sound to your lead playing, which you don't get from simply practicing and jamming with scales alone. 3, music theory. Some people find this word scary, but it is your friend, trust me, okay? We'll be talking about intervals, which interval changes as we move from mode to mode, which intervals make up our arpeggios. And this is all useful knowledge, not just in pub quizzes, okay? And finally, number 4, rhythm skills. We're going to be playing 16th notes tonight mainly, so we'll be counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. But we'll also throw in some triplets and maybe even some quintuplets as well. So a good workout for your picking hand and timing. So arpeggios, very quickly. From each mode, we're going to create an arpeggio and then play the 2 together. So what are arpeggios? I've actually drawn up this little whiteboard here, gone a bit old school, to explain the difference between scales and arpeggios. Let me know in the comments if you already know what these are, but I'm going to assume you don't. So here is my old school whiteboard. Here is the scale on top, okay? So with scales, we generally move a note on every line or space. So here's C major, we're going to go line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, okay? But arpeggios involve what we call stacking thirds, okay, or jumping thirds. So here I'm highlighted the first note C, we're then jumping the second note to play the third note E, jumping the fourth to play the fifth. So you'll notice we're taking just the odd numbers, the root, the third, the fifth. We jump the sixth to take the seventh, another odd number. So root, third, fifth, seventh, that gives us our arpeggio. What that means is, if I split the arpeggio out onto this line, you'll see that the notes are just on the lines. So rather than line, space, line, space, line, space, with a scale, we've got line, 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 or that could be space, 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 okay? That's what differentiates an arpeggio from a scale. Oh, don't know what happened there. Oh dear, I've jumped to a different exercise. Let's go back to where we were, which was there. Let's just check we're in the right place. 3, 4, and okay. Right, let's do the lesson. So there's the introduction. Yeah, let's start with it. So our first mode is going to be Lydian. You'll see on the tab, it starts with Lydian. It doesn't start with the major scale. Now, if you do just know the major scale, which would be root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So those frets would be 7 to 9, 7, 8, 9, and on the G string, 7. Let's do that again. No one's looking anyway. 7, 9, 6, 7, 9 on the D string, then 6, 8, 9 on the G. Okay, and then to come down in reverse, 9, 8, 6, 9, 7, 6, 9, 7. Okay, that is our A shape of the major scale. Now, if you're wondering what that means, talking about the cage system there, but essentially that A shape major scale is exactly the same fingering as if we started it from the bottom string in E shape. Now, most people will be familiar with that version of the major scale. So it is the same, okay? Drop us a comment or a question at any time, okay? Or let me know where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know where you guys are watching from. Right, so to play our Lydian mode, we're starting with our major scale framework. The Lydian contains a sharp fourth, okay? An augmented fourth. So we count through our major scale, root, second, third, fourth. There it is. In this case, it's an A, and we raise it by a semitone, okay? So we have root, second, third, sharp 4. That is the only note that changes from our major scale, okay? So if I was to play Lydian, I'm going to play okay, root, second, third, sharp 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. The rest of it's the same as the major scale. It's a really sweet sound, the Lydian, okay? It's a really sort of edgy sound, mysterious. Right, so that's the mode we're going to go up. And then from that, we're going to come down our arpeggio, which is going to be fret 7 on the B string, which is the 9th. Hello, 7. 8 on the G, 7 on the D, down to 6 on the D, and then back to our root note. Okay, so the arpeggio. Let's just loop that first, because in actual fact, the arpeggio part of this exercise is generally more physically demanding and technically challenging than the scale part. Scales are quite easy to run up. You're playing 2 or 3 notes per string. Arpeggios, you kind of jumping across the strings quite rapidly. So if I was to start from the bottom, we have 7, 6, 9. This is obviously all marked out on the tab. 8, 7. Okay, so I'm going to put that in a little loop, which I'll start slowly. You can join in with. And this really gets it under the fingers. We won't do this with every single arpeggio. Let's speed that up a fraction. And I'm going to start counting it as well now, just to put the rhythm in with it. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a bit faster. 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Okay, we're really sort of drilling that into the fingers. That is a major 9th arpeggio. Right, let's go up Lydian, down the arpeggio. It's the reverse of last week's lesson. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. I'm strictly alternate picking that. You could, if you wanted to, alternate pick on the way up and then sweep through on the way back down. So that's down, up, economy picking. I would actually probably find that more natural, okay, in my own improvisations. Right, let's put that to the backing track, to just up Lydian, down the major 9th arpeggio. 2, 3, and 4 E. One down. If you haven't accessed the backing track is on our Bandcamp. The link for that is also in the description. You can just use the metronome, of course. The metronome tempo of this backing track is 72 BPM. Looking at Logic. If that's too fast, obviously start slower. Right, the second mode on our tab is Ionian, also known as the major scale. So we started with that. So we're going to go up Lydian and then flatten the 4th. Okay, so rather than root, 2nd, 3rd, sharp 4 in Lydian, we're going to have root, 2nd, 3rd, perfect 4th. Now, we said earlier that the arpeggios used the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th, and the 9th, so the odd numbers essentially. Because we're changing the 4th, which is an even interval, it won't affect the arpeggio that we're playing. Okay, so the actual arpeggio we played for Lydian, 9, 7, 5th, 3rd root, will be the same. So I'm now going to go up Ionian, down the arpeggio. Let's do that again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. And again, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. My finger wanted to go to Lydian then. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Right, let's do the two, one after the other. So I'm going to go up Lydian, down the major 9th arpeggio, up Ionian, down the major 9th arpeggio. Okay, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and Ionian, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Good. Let's put those to the backing track. We'll join the two together. Okay, 2, 3 and 4 E and a Lydian, Ionian. 2 down. 5 to go. Right, so that's our 7 modes of the major scale we're looking at tonight. Stop me at any point, ask any questions, just drop a comment. I'll happily answer them. Talk about anything. Okay, I'm here for a little while. Our 3rd mode is going to be Mixolydian. Now, if you've seen these lessons before, you'll know that when we go from the major scale or the Ionian mode, to change that to Mixolydian, we will flatten the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is our seventh, really nice sounding interval. We're going to flatten that, and that gives us a flattened seventh or a minor seventh, okay? That is the only transition, that's the only change note between major scale and the mixed Lydian mode. So that will now sound like this. Okay, that's mixed Lydian. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. Now this will affect the arpeggio because it is the seventh that's changed. And as I said before, it is the odd numbers that make up our arpeggio, the root, the third, the fifth, the seventh, and the ninth. So as we've flattened our seventh, that means we're going to have a flat seven in our arpeggio as well. So the root, the third, and the fifth stay the same, but now rather than using the third finger, we're going to use the second finger to play that flat seven. So that would be a dominant seventh arpeggio, which I'm sure some of you will have played before. We're also including our ninth, if you remember, so we get a nice roll in there. It's a technique that a lot of guitarists hate when they first start playing it. So this would be a dominant ninth arpeggio. Root, third, fifth, flat seven, nine. You see, I really exaggerate that movement on the tip, flat or pad, tip, pad. My whole arm moves there. It's to really commit to the movement, commit to the roll. Right, so the full ninth would be, get that under the fingers, get comfortable with it. Right, let's put that into the exercise. We're going to go up, mix the Lydian, back down the arpeggio. Let's put the two together. There we go, up mix the Lydian, down the dominant ninth arpeggio. Right, I'm going to play the three modes together. Lydian, arpeggio. Ionian, arpeggio. Mixed Lydian, arpeggio. All from the same root note. We're changing one note each time. Here we go. 3 and 4 and a Lydian. Major ninth arpeggio. Ionian. Major ninth arpeggio. Mixed Lydian. Okay, we flattened that seventh on the way up, so we also needed to flatten it on the way down. Right, good stuff. Let's do that to the backing track. Will be a fraction faster than what I've just played it there to the count. 2, 3, and 4. Good. 3 down, 4 to go. Stop me at any point if you have any questions, guys. Right, so those first 3 modes all contained a major third. Okay, we're now moving into the realms of the minor modes, which I actually prefer playing anyway. So the first of those is going to be Dorian. So we had mixed Lydian, root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, flat 7, octave. We're now going to take that major third G sharp, in this key it's G sharp, we'll flatten it to a G, but rather than play it down there, which is perfectly legitimate, but we're going to play that G on the A string in fret 10. So the bottom of our mode now becomes, you can hear straight away that's a minor sound, okay, the flattened third. We still want the major sixth though. Dorian, the sweetest sound of Dorian is that major sixth against the minor third, okay? So up the minor scale, but then we get this lovely major sixth. Let's just loop that a second, get it under the fingers. Doesn't need to be fast. Just up and down, okay, get familiar with the shapes, get familiar with the sound. Sing it as well if that helps, making that connection between your ears and your fingers, which is so important. Right, now we've changed the third. As we said, the arpeggios are made up of the root, the third, the fifth, the seventh, and the ninth. So if we change one of those, in this case the third, that means the arpeggio changes as well. So we had a dominant ninth arpeggio, root, third, fifth, flat 7, 9. We now have a minor ninth arpeggio, root, flat third, fifth, flat 7, 9. Let's loop that. It's a nice sound, okay? You notice the roll that we were playing here with the middle finger. We're now playing with the index finger, but I'm still got quite a wide movement going on there. Right, let's join the two together. So we're going to go up, Dorian, down, oh no, up Dorian, down the mode, and again, up Dorian, down the mode. One more time, up Dorian, down the mode. I'm really accentuating that ninth, okay, as I spin around and come back down. Right, let's join that to Mixolydian. So the transition will be Mixolydian into Dorian. So we'll be having a major third in Mixolydian, but a minor third in Dorian. All the other notes will be the same. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then flatten the third. Should have got my index finger there. Yeah, that's a common fault there. When I've taught this with those students in the past, when you come up, that's all fine. Little position shift back. You're playing the flat 7 with the middle finger there, okay? So that D natural is played with the middle finger, but you need to switch up to the index finger for the 9th, back to the 7th to come down that arpeggio. You can't play it with the middle finger there because then you run out of fingers, okay? So I'll watch that position shift again. The middle finger there on the 9th, but then switch up to the index for the arpeggio. Right, let's put that to the backing track. So we've got 4 modes: Lydian, Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian. 2, 3, and Dorian. Lydian, Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian. Got a comment from Glenn. Hello, mate. I often practice modes of the major scale from brightest to darkest sounding. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so you've caught me at Dorian, but you 22 minutes in, I started at Lydian, Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, and I'll be going through this as well. Montreal, brilliant. Do you speak French? I'm guessing with a name like Glenn Michael Thompson, you're probably of American or English descent, but I know a lot of you guys are bilingual, which I am as well. I used to live in Toulouse. So thanks for the comment though, dude. Are you watching with your guitar? Like, are you joining in? So I'm interested to know how you practice those modes. But it's a really cool method, isn't it? Right, let's, the next one is Aeolian. Hopefully you're looking at the tab, guys. So we had Dorian with the flat third, but a major 6th. Okay. We're going to flatten that 6th. This is a C sharp. Okay, we want a C natural, because again, we can't drop a C sharp back too far out of position. So we're going to play it there at fret 10 on the D string. And then the 9th remains the same, okay, so major 9th. So let's just get Aeolian under our fingers quickly first. This is a nice easy one to play because you've got some symmetry between the A and D strings. Not actually using the middle finger at all on this shape. Right, and then obviously once you get to the top there, onto the 9th, and then we come back down the arpeggio. Now, because we've changed the 6th, it's one of the even numbers, we're not actually changing the arpeggio. Oui, je parle français et anglais. You're playing an do you know what? I've got an Ibanez up on the wall there, which is one of my jazz guitars. 85, wow. An art star. Got me intrigued. I've got a thing for Ibanez's. I actually had an old EX series. I don't know if you know them. Oh, that is absolutely lovely. A little bit expensive. God, that is lovely. That's quite similar to this. I mean, this is not actually mine. I borrowed this off one of my very best friends. But, oh. Man, I'll be checking one of those out. They look really nice. I had an old EX series, which I bought off sort of an early mentor of mine when I was about 18. And then I recently gave it back, so that he actually died a couple of years ago. So I gave it back to his son. And he was really pleased to have this guitar, which had been part of his youth, you know, have it back. So, I'm guessing, is English your first language or is French your first language? So I'm back in England now, but I really miss getting up and speaking French every day. You know, I had a French girlfriend and I used to love that. I spoke more French than English for 10 years, frankly. But right, let's crack on. So we were going up, Aeolian, down the arpeggio. Let's do that one first. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 Now, if we were to join Dorian and Aeolian together, it has a mini humbucker and piezo. Oh, you added them yourself, Anglophone Quebecois. Yeah, did you put them in yourself or did they come with that? I need to check them out because they look really nice. I mean, I can't afford to buy any new guitars at the minute. I bought myself a Mike Stern Ibanez Pacifica this year, and I told myself I wasn't going to buy any guitars this year, but I'll have to check out your channel after I finish streaming, Glenn, because it looks like, is that a guitar in your photo? It's too small to tell, but I'll check out your material. Ryan, watching from sunny Hampshire. Thanks for joining, mate. Have you got your guitar there? Are you playing? Are you following along with the tab? Right, so if I was to join Dorian and Aeolian together, obviously Dorian has the major sixth, Aeolian has the minor sixth. So I'm going to go up Dorian, down the arpeggio, and then up Aeolian, play the arpeggio. And like I said, because the note we've changed is the sixth, it's not the root, the third, the fifth, the seventh, or the ninth. The actual arpeggio remains the same for both. So we've only got one arpeggio for those two scales. Let's do that in time. 3 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and an Aeolian. Right, and then we'll do that to the backing track. No guitar, but I will re-watch later. Yes, you definitely will. Right, here we go from the beginning. So Lydian, Ionian, mixed Lydian, those are our 3 modes with the major third, and then we drop the major third to go into the minor modes, Dorian, Aeolian. 2, 3, and 4 E and a Lydian, Ionian, 3 and 4 E and a Ionian, mixed Lydian, that was Dorian, and then Aeolian. They came standard with it. Okay, my channel is only a library, not much content. For a little content, I have another channel called GMT Art and Music. Right, I'm going to just tap that into a GMT Art and Music. I can watch later. Got ya. Cool. Is that you in that picture with wearing the glasses with the long hair? Oh, it looks like it. Cool. Right, we've done 5 modes. We're down to the last 2. Yeah, cool. Okay. I see what you look like now. Right, our last 2 modes are 2 of the most interesting ones because we really are straying a long way from our starting point now. Obviously, Lydian, Ionian, they're kind of like much brighter, happy sounds, more synonymous with a lot of pop music. We're now getting into flat 2, flat 5 territory, but that also gives us the chance to create some really cool and exotic sounds. So my favorite mode is Phrygian. We had Aeolian there, and to move into Phrygian, we're simply going to flatten the second. Okay, so we had a major second F sharp in Aeolian and Dorian. In fact, all of the modes up to this point, and we now have F natural. Okay, it's a really cool dark sound. Right, the rest of the mode will be the same, and that, there she is. Okay, so 7, 8, 10 on the A, 7, 9, 10 on the D, then 7, 9 on the G. Just loop it, get it under the fingers. Even if you know these shapes, it's good picking practice to get them up and down. And then our arpeggio. Now obviously with the arpeggios, it's the root, the third, the fifth, the seventh, and the ninth. Sorry if I'm repeating myself and you've been watching this from the start. Now the second is the ninth. So therefore, as we've changed our second E to F, we also need to change it the octave higher in the ninth. So I'm going to go up, Phrygian, and then our major 9 was there, F sharp. We need to drop it by a semitone. Now we don't really want to move back a fret there and take ourselves out of position, although that would be a really good exercise. Look, little position shift in there. But we're actually going to play that F natural there at fret 10 on the G string. Okay, and that means we can keep everything all under the fingers and in position. So that our mode with the ninth on top becomes 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9. Okay, there's that beautiful flat 9. So we're going to go up and then down the arpeggio. Now I actually find this arpeggio easier because we restrict ourselves to 3 strings here. Well, all the arpeggios up to this point were coming down 4 strings, okay? This is a really nice one to loop. Let's do a little bit of rhythmic displacement here, okay? This is a really interesting thing you can do to work on your technique and your rhythmic perception at the same time. So I'm counting that naturally as 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Palm mute in. If I wanted to make that a little bit more interesting and challenge myself more without having to mess around with the fingering, I can start to count that in different ways. So if I was to count that in triplets, that would then not repeat at the start of the beat every time. So I'm going to go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Try it yourselves, because that actually is harder than it looks. It's not any more challenging technically, okay? We're not doing anything different with the plectrum. We're placing rhythmic emphasis at a bit different point within. Well, in fact, the rhythmic emphasis shifts through the arpeggio as you count it. If you wanted to go even more in depth and challenge yourself even more, you could try quintuplets or 5s. Okay, so I'd now count either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you wanted a word, some people prefer a word there, you can do university, 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 U. And it's just constantly shifting through what a few seconds ago felt like a really simple pattern. That is a great way of improving your rhythmic perception, okay? Right, so back to 16th notes to make it easy for ourselves again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. We're going to combine that with our mode. So I'm going to go up Phrygian and then down our mode. Up Phrygian, down the mode. Right, into the click. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Again, 1 E and a 3 and a 4. And let's join that to our previous mode, which was Aeolian. Remember, we're putting these into a sequence. So Aeolian had the major ninth, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4, and then Phrygian 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. This is a really great way of learning your modes because we're just changing one note each time, okay? So it's really easy to remember what the important or new note is with that mode. It's very clear that the important note in Phrygian here is the flat 2 because that's the note that distinguishes it from Aeolian. And obviously it has a significant effect on the sound as well. Right, to the backing track, everything, Lydian, Ionian, mixed Lydian, those are our 3 modes with the major third, flat in the third, Dorian, Aeolian, into Phrygian. Let's hope I get this right. It's getting challenging. 3 and 4 piano. Mixolydian, flat in the 7. Minor modes. One to go. Okay, that was 6 modes down. That leaves us our final mode, Locrian. Okay, Locrian is not a minor mode. It does have a minor third. Okay, that's not changed, but we are also flattening the 5th. Okay, so when you have root, flat, third, 5th, that gives us a minor triad. But we're having root, flat, third, flat 5, or diminished 5, that gives us a diminished triad. Okay, and when you combine root, flat, third, flat, 5th with a flat 7, you get a half diminished scale. Okay, so Locrian is not minor, it's not diminished, it's a half diminished scale. So the actual mode is going to be, there's our new note, flat 5, okay. The rest of it's the same, the flat 9 also remains in place. Let's just loop that a second, get it under the fingers. There's Locrian. So really, by now this is our darkest mode, okay. And then the arpeggio coming down is going to be, let's do it up first of all. Root, flat 3rd, flat 5th, flat 7. And then we're going to put the flat 9 on top of that as well. Beautiful sound, absolutely beautiful. So everything's been flattened. Let's put the E there so you can really hear that in context musically. So how sinister that actually is. Right, so we're going to go up Locrian. And then down our arpeggio, which by now is a minor 7, flat 5, flat 9. It's far less scary than it sounds, okay? But no reason why you can't drop that in the conversation at the table. Let people know that you're not wasting your time learning guitar. You're learning some really cool stuff. So here we go, up Locrian. And then down the arpeggio. Up Locrian. Down our arpeggio. Okay. Let's do that in time. 3 and 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Again, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Good. Let's just join that to Phrygian. So Phrygian, we'll keep the flat 2, but with a perfect 5th. Up. Okay, so major, perfect 5th on the way down, and then we go to Locrian, flatten the 5th, flatten it on the way down as well. Here we go, 3 and 4 and a 1 and a 2, Phrygian, and flatten 5th. Everything to the backing track from the beginning. So if you're looking at the tab, you'll see we've gone from the top, Lydian, Ionian, major modes, into Mixolydian, which is a dominant mode, and then into Dorian, Aeolian, Phrygian, which are minor modes, and finally Locrian, as we've just discussed, is a half diminished mode. You're learning a lot of cool music theory terms here. 2, 3, 4 and minor. Flatten the 2, flatten the 5th, and we're done. Good stuff. In all seriousness, that is quite challenging. Okay, so if you're able to bring that up to speed, that's very cool. It's not challenging from a particularly speedy way. You know, it won't take much to build up the speed on one of those modes individually. It's the fact that you need to just keep it going, and you need to know which interval changes with each new mode. That's the challenge. So if you wanted to use it to build speed, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, it is a really useful warm-up. Absolutely. It's a great thing because you are giving all of the fingers a good workout. And you're playing every single interval within an octave as well. All the seconds, all the thirds, all the fourths, everything. From the point of starting with Lydian to getting down to the end, you have changed every single note once. So I definitely recommend it. Well, if you look on Patreon, Glenn, I've got a whole absolute range. Yeah, brilliant for the ear. Absolutely. If you can learn to sing all of these as well. On our Patreon, there's a whole range of exercises and warm-ups and studies that revolve around this same concept of parallel modes. So this is just one of them. This is the 8th consecutive week, and there'll be another one next week. And I'm doing thirds and, you know, sequencing and all sorts of stuff. But this is good because this is quite challenging to go up a mode and then come back down the arpeggio. It feels like you're really racing back down. But I'm pleased you've enjoyed it, mate. Right. So let's move on to do a little bit of ear training, because that's already taken 45 minutes of tonight. Normally I'm long done the lesson part and I'm already on the ear training stuff. But so you'll need a pen and paper or a page on your iPad, laptop, whatever, to write these down. So we're going to start with some intervals. Okay, so I'm going to play the interval on the guitar, and then you want to write down what it is, and at the end I'll give you your answers. Okay, if you want to warm up, let's just give you a couple of intervals so you recognize them by ear. There's actually a cheat sheet on our Patreon which is also for free. You can go and download a sheet which will give you all 12 intervals split into diatonic and non-diatonic. Excuse me. Diatonic and non-diatonic, and it will give you at least 2 tunes, I think, per interval. So you've got a reference point, so that when you hear the interval in the test, you can then hear the tune and you know what it is. Okay, and with practice, we do this every week. You will get better quite quickly. So there's a third, okay, a major third. Oh, when the saints, that's an important one. There's the 5th, twinkle, twinkle. Okay, that's an important one. That's a 7th, da 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 da, Superman. And then the octave. Somewhere over the rainbow. Okay, those are the important ones from an arpeggio, and then there'll be a whole load of others as well. Right, clear your ears. Here we go. This is number 1. Don't look at my fingers. No cheating. I'm not going to turn my back to you. But here we go. Number 1. Which interval is that? That is the interval melodically, i.e. the 2 notes are separate. This is the interval harmonically. Okay, we're played together. Harmony. Right, that's number 1. Number 2. We're going to change the root note each time, otherwise it's too easy. That's number 2. Make sure you're writing these down. That's melodic. There's the harmony. It's very tense on that one. Number 3. Which interval is that? That's it, harmonically. Number 4. Okay, there it is melodically. And here it is harmonically. Always used to get this one wrong in music college every time. Took me ages to really recognize that as a sound. I don't know why. Sometimes you've got intervals that you just hear and you recognize it immediately. Others, you know, there's an element of confusion. Right, number 5. It's a really common one, that in rock music. There it is harmonically. Okay. Number 6. Let's go a bit higher, just to challenge you a little bit. What interval is that? The reason I say, here it is harmonically, that it will challenge you a little bit by moving it up or down is because we tend to sort of recognize these mid-range intervals quite easily because it's similar to our pitch of our voices. Well, when you get low down here, like that same interval was here, wasn't it? Was there. If I was to play that down here, Okay, it gets harder to recognize. The notes resonate differently, and that's lower than most people's speaking voices. Equally, if I was to play it up here, okay, again, that's beyond most people's vocal range, so they find that harder to recognize that. So what I'm going to do week by week is start to extend the range that I play these intervals to test you even further. So here, one more time. That's where I originally played it. Halfway there. Number 7 is this. Love the sound of that. Number 8. Did something naughty there, which I've never done before. I kept the top note the same for both. Okay, that's number 8. So number 7 was this. And number 8 was this. It does something to the brain if the top note's the same each time. Number 9. Not so easy, you won't recognise that. That is the interval melodically. And that is the interval harmonically. If you're into jazz, you'd have played that sort of interval a lot. Number 10, let's do this one low down. Just to show you guys the effect of how low or high the interval is, the effect it has here, because we're low down, the wavelengths of the notes are really long, so the reaction between those two notes is quite violent. If I was to do the same thing a couple of octaves higher, you see how there's almost no so it's still like quite a tense, dark sound. You can still hear the notes fighting against each other for airspace, but the waveforms are so small now that there's not at all the same level of violence between the notes. Right, number 11. Sorry, I'm nerding out. Hopefully you're enjoying that. That's number 11. Harmonically, melodically. And finally, number 12. Let's do that here. Right, the answers. Very quickly. Number 1 was a third. Okay. Oh, when the saints. Number 2 was a flat fifth, or a diminished fifth. The Simpsons. Okay. Or Maria. Number 3 was a second. Okay. Happy birthday. Number 4 was a flat sixth. My nemesis when I was in music college. Okay. Like there as well. So if you want a tune for that, it's the James Blunt You're Beautiful riff. Okay. I'm sure when he wrote that, he didn't realise it would be the source of a lot of ear training lessons, but that is a flat 6. Some people will also hear that as a sharp 5. Number 5 was a flat third. Played it there. Okay. Whole Lot of Love. Or Seven Nation Army. Should we play them in? But the important part is that is your flat third. Number 6 was a seventh. Okay, this is where I nerded out, talking about frequency. Low down, that same one would down an octave. Okay, something really lovely about and reassuring about that interval within a chord. So here you can hear the two notes fighting against each other. Okay, this is a real shimmer there. While if I was to play that within that chord. Bury that interval within the chord, and then you don't hear that. But there's a real nice texture. Number 7 was a 6th, which I played there. The 2 choices there would be that blues riff, which you can move down chromatically. Sorry there. Becomes a flat 6th again. Or, and now the end is near. Start of My Way. That's a very distinctive interval. Number 8 was a 5th. Okay, twinkle, twinkle, little star. But the important bit, twinkle, twinkle. Good. Number 9 was an octave. Played there from E. I said that if you're into jazz, you've played that a lot. Good old Wes Montgomery there with his thumb. Okay. Somewhere over the rainbow. Number 10 was a flat 2nd. We played that here to get absolute most violence out of it. As in, that's obviously Jaws. It's also, if I put it up a bit, isn't she lovely? Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely? Okay. Which is a lot less intimidating than the Jaws theme. Right, number 11, we're nearly there. It was a flattened 7. Okay. And number 12 was a 4th. Okay. Which most famously is Smoke on the Water. Those are all 4ths. Okay, a very distinctive sound. Or as a tune, Here Comes the Bride. Okay, apologies if anyone's going through a divorce and watching this, but okay, that is the tune for a 4th. Right, good stuff. So that is all 12 of our intervals, both diatonic and non-diatonic, in the same test now. Okay, because we're on week 8. Let's do some triads. We'll do some chords. We'll do some triads, just a few, and then we'll do some 7th chords. Okay, so we're testing your ability to hear chords. Triads. So you're going to go 1 to 6. Write that down. And they're going to be either major, let's give you them, major, minor, flat in the 3rd, diminished, flat in the 5th, okay, or augmented. Okay, so from highest to brightest, that will be augmented, root 3rd sharp 5th, major, root 3rd 5th, minor, root flat 3rd 5th, and then diminished root flat 3rd, flat 5th. Here we go. Number 1. Which triad is that? Don't look at my hands if you think you know the shapes. Ah, sorry, Glenn, I didn't see your last test there. And I didn't see your last comment. Did better than I expected. It's been a long time since university. Number 5 was a flat 3rd, which I played there. Okay, a minor 3rd. I'm doing this every single week, Glenn. Finish the modes with some ear training, and I'm gonna start a separate night on just ear training. In actual fact, maybe a Tuesday, but I'm just gonna be doing ear training. So 12 out of 12. Oh, mate, great work. Well, I definitely start making these harder then. I can definitely do that. But I'm impressed. Ryan, are you still watching? How many did you get out of 12? I know you were going to do these. Don't be shy. Let us know how you got on. Hopefully you got as many as Glenn. I'm impressed if that's your first time doing this. So, right, triad. So that was number 1. Mate, Glenn, if you knew Ryan, you wouldn't even be surprised by that answer. But well done, mate. If you got 13 out of 12, you've done very, very well. So I'm pleased. But that was our first triad without looking. I know, right? So I wouldn't have been surprised if he got 12 though. His ears are good. His ears are very good. Right, that's number 1. Number 2. You've earned the right to post those. Number 2, that's your 2nd triad. Okay. There's a little bit of a clue if you know your harmony. Number 3. Oh. triad is that? Major, minor, diminished, or augmented. Number 4, we'll just skip through these because obviously we want to get on to the 7th chords, we want to get on to the chorder stuff. All right, mate, thank you. I'll speak to you later or tomorrow or soon, I'm sure. That's number 4. Number 5, major, minor, diminished or augmented. And finally, number 6, plays a little bit higher. Which triad is that? Right, the answers. Number 1 was an augmented triad. Okay, literally played root, 3rd, 5th, root again. Okay. Really sort of tense sound that. Obviously associated with a lot of jazz, but you'll also hear it in, that's the first chord in No Particular Place to Go by Chuck Berry as well. Number 2 was a diminished triad, okay, which I moved up in flat thirds. Number 4 was major, I played that here in closed root position, root, 3rd, 5th, root, 3rd, so they're just playing in order. Number 4 was diminished again, I think I played it a little bit higher. 5 was minor, I played a nice big fat E-shaped bar chord there. And number 6 was augmented, but I played that higher up here. That's the Chuck Berry chord. Riding along in an automobile, okay? Before we do the 7th chords, and we'll finish with those, nice little exercise if you want, if you're still watching Glenn and you find those at 12 out of 12 a bit easier, try and, you may have done this yourself if you went to university and studied in music college, but try sort of playing scales and harmonizing with yourself. So not just singing the notes you're playing. So if I start here, that's the 3rd of that note. Now I should hopefully be able to stay within the scale, but it's always remaining a diatonic 3rd above the note I'm playing. So that's really good for your ears as well. Trying to remain a 3rd. You can obviously choose other intervals, but 3rds is a nice place to start because mostly when we sing in backing vocals with people, we tend to sing 3rds, don't we? So, right. Let's finish with some 7th chords. So I include 4 types of 7th chords in this. There's going to be major 7s, there'll be sleepy and dreamy. There'll be dominant 7s, so I'm flattening the 7th. There'll be minor 7s, so I'm flattening the 3rd. And we'll be minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished. Okay, so major 7s, dominant 7s, minor 7s, minor 7 flat 5. So there'll be 8 of these. So you want to write down 1 to 8. Right, here we go. Number 1, no looking at my hands. That's number 1. What kind of 7th chord is that? Number 2. What about this? Number 3 is this. I love that chord. Number 4. Let's go lower. What kind of 7th chord is that? Major 7, minor 7, dominant 7. Minor 7 flat 5. Number 5 is this. Number 6 is this. Number 7 is this. And finally, number 8, let's go low again. Right, the answers. Number 1 was a minor 7. Played that here, I think. C sharp minor 7. I really like that A-shaped voicing. Okay, it's the sort of slow train running. Which is really nice. Number 2 was a C-shaped dominant 7. Which I may have played there actually. Really reminds me of the Beatles, that. I don't know why. It's got a real 60s vibe to it. I also like that one because it's not got a 5th in it. Okay, you've got root, 3rd, 7th, root. Obviously the 5th is not that important on the grand scheme of things. So it feels like there's a little bit more air in the chord and some of the fluff has been taken out. I certainly find if I was to play the A shape from that same root note, there's 2 5ths in there all of a sudden. And it feels like so much more cluttered, like so much less agreeable. Okay, there's the C shape, sounds much nicer. Number 3, major 7. I'm pretty sure I did that here. D, A shape. There's obviously 2 5ths in there as well. And then the same thing. So the next number 4 was also a major 7, but I did it down here at G. Again, there is a 5th there, but only 1. And I also like the fact that the lower part of that chord is voiced root 7. I think having nothing between the root and the 7th gives it a little bit more space. While if I was to put the 5th in there, it's a mess. So 3 and 4 were both major 7s. Number 5 was a minor 7 flat 5. I played that here at E. Such a nice sound. That was 5. Number 6 was a dominant 7 chord. I played as a D shape. Okay. The Madonna voicing. I don't see a lot of D shapes played these days. I don't know why. I guess then, why would you go to that chord when you can so easily go to that chord? That's probably the main reason. And then the other side of it would be there, which is also really easy to play. So you don't, it's not people's first choice when they're sight reading a chart, I guess, to go to that. Number 7 was another minor 7. I played that. Do you know what? I can't even remember where I played that one. But it was another minor 7 because I've written it down so I know that's right. And then finally, number 8 was another minor 7 flat 5, but I played it getting that sort of G-shaped voicing, which is cool. Like having the flat 5 on top there. Right. That's pretty much all I've scheduled for tonight. What have we done? We've done an hour and 4. Any questions? I don't know if that's still you watching, Glenn, but if you have stayed all this while, then I really appreciate it. So I love doing these live streams. They're great fun. What's really sort of disconcerting about it, though, is the fact that even though I can't see anyone's eyes on me, there's a little figure in the corner constantly going up and down to tell you how many people are watching. And it's sort of like brilliant when it goes up to 5 or 6 and you think, oh, hopefully this is going to, jump up to 10. And then it just like that, it can jump down to 1 or 0 or whatever. But I guess that's just the challenge of building up your following and building up a group of people who want to tune in each week and communicate with you and see what you're doing. So, but I definitely appreciate you, if that is still you, being there from the beginning, really. So, oh mate, cheers. Yeah, do. That would be lovely. That'd be really lovely. And the Patreon for these sessions, they're always free. We always put them up for free, so anyone can download them and without feeling like they're obliged to sort of subscribe to the Patreon and anything. So I can't remember what next week's is going to be, but it's going to be another parallel modes, from E. It might be going up in thirds, actually. Yeah, they're great. And I think people underestimate what a useful system learning the modes in parallel is, because you can really hear the difference between each one. While I've never really gained a great deal of. Do you teach yourself, or are you just a hobbying guitarist? Or gig? So when I started doing, I've done a lot of gigging in my life as well, and I've actually found when I did my first live stream here 8 weeks ago, it was so disconcerting. I thought I did enjoy it, but like I'd much prefer to see, even be in front of 400 or 500 people. I just love that, the connection with the audience. They're there in front of you. You can see who's there. And then being here in a room on my own with just that figure changing in the corner every 10 seconds, it was so much more unnerving. I was really surprised, but I'm kind of used to it now. But I'll check out the material on your page though. So for sure. All right, mate. Well, thanks for that. And I will hopefully see you next week. Ryan tends to check in next week as well. So you've been in music educator for 45 years. Cool. Mate, I'm 44 myself. So I'm probably not that far behind you. I know I look about 30. Most people can't believe it when I say I'm 44, but well, it's cool that to me. Do you know what? One of my best friends is from Canada. I met her while traveling in Kenya. Years ago, 65. Okay, we're younger than my dad. One of my best friends is from Canada. She's from Newfoundland, and we met traveling in Kenya, and we're still in touch all the time. But I've never been over there to visit her, and I'd like to. But I would love to go over because I'm fluent in French myself. I'd really like to go and spend some time in Quebec and Montreal. I'd love that. So one day. But all right, mate. Well, take care, and I'll see you soon. Oh, your dad was born in Newfoundland. So does that mean you've got like Irish heritage? Because apparently there's a lot of Irish blood, which makes sense. Obviously, if you go west from Ireland, you're going to head straight into Newfoundland eventually. But apparently the Newfoundland accent is also certain areas of Newfoundland. The accent's got a real Irish twang to it. I'd love to hear that. Because obviously we as English people, we really love the Irish accent. It's so nice. So, well, we love the Irish. Everyone loves the Irish, don't we, right? So, cool. All right, mate, take care. Well, hopefully I'll catch up with you, next week. It will be same time next week, basically. And if you have any students who want to do, and they need a bit of ear training, feel free to recommend to them this slot. That's a really good idea. God, I should connect with some music teachers who can get them to send their students. See, my brain's just tired of just ticking over. Cool. All right, mate. Take care. Cheers, Glenn.